Do you know the difference between men and women in the time it takes to reach the peak of pleasure is really an interesting, untroublesome problem? I have a girlfriend who complained to me. She said that every time her husband's speed is like a rocket, he reaches it in a moment. But what about her? Just when she feels a little bit, sometimes she's not satisfied, but her husband has finished. If her husband is not and wants to continue, she is none. It's like when a man reaches that state. It's like fireworks, gorgeous, but it's gone in a moment. For us women, reaching that state of pleasure is like a small volcano erupting slowly but lasting for a. How long does a man have to exercise to satisfy us women? There is a lot of knowledge in this. Let's talk about the ideal duration of. Under normal circumstances, the duration of sex is about 10-35 minutes. However, every couple is different with different physical conditions on habit. Time may be different every time due to different environments, so there is no absolute standard. Generally speaking, 10-35 minutes is a more appropriate rate. If it's only 1 or 2 minutes, it's too fast, and we women will definitely not be satisfied. Many couples think that 3:15 minutes is barely acceptable, and if it can reach 20 minutes, it would be the ideal time. However, if it exceeds 35 minutes, it's too tiring and you won't be interested in it later. I also heard that some people boast that they can have a marathon style sex. Oh, envy them. It's really not a good thing. I have a friend who is a psychologist. He said that super long sex is not good for the life of a couple. It just satisfies the vanity of some men. Moreover, men and women have different desires at different ages. Before the age of 30, men's desires are so strong and their needs are so strong. For women, generally after the age of 30, their desires reach their peak and their needs slowly increase. In addition, men and women have different views on sexual relationships. Men's sexual impulses are like instinctive reactions, but we women are different. We need some induced behaviors such as touching, hugging, and kissing to feel more easily. If there is a problem in the relationship between husband and wife, men always think of solving it through sex, thinking that as long as the woman cooperates, it will be fine. But we women need the right emotional atmosphere to be willing to have sex naturally, which is why men and women are prone to disagreements in sex. Many men think that sexual intimacy is more important than emotional connection, and we women value emotional satisfaction more, such as companionship. And the length of sex also has an impact on health. Whether it is too long or too short, there may be problems. Think about it when sex, the private parts are congested and drugged all the time. If the time is too long, many problems will come. I have a neighbor who told me that she had sex for a long time. As a result, she had a urinary tract infection and irregular menstruation. The same is true for men. If the time is too long, they may get prostatitis, so the longer the time is better. Of course, if it is too short, it is not normal. Let's talk about the frequency of sex, which is also an important topic. I often chat with some male friends and they are very interesting. In the comments section, some people say once a day, 7 days a week. Some say 2 or 3 times a day, and some even say 7 times a night. Do you think this statement is credible? For example, 7 times a night seems possible in theory, but it is too difficult in practice. First of all, the physical exertion is too great and sexual intercourse is already very physically demanding. If you have sex 7 times a night, it would be like running a marathon. You can't even think about sleeping all night. After 3 or 4 times, your body probably can't stand it. And if it's too frequent, the desire will disappear. Although men's sperm can be produced all the time, it takes 1-2 days to return to normal after each time. If you have sex several times in a short period of time, the amount of sperm will be reduced, and you will feel empty, which is not only bad for the body, but also the pleasure will be gone. If the private parts are oft unrubbed and congested, and it is repeated in a short period of time, it will definitely hurt or feel uncomfortable, and in severe cases, there may be. So what is the frequency of healthy sexual intercourse between men and women? In fact, there is no absolute standard. Sun Sima, the king of medicine, said in Tianjin Fang that a 20-year-old can have sex twice a day, a 30-year-old once every 2 days, a 50-year-old once every 5 days, and a 70-year-old. This is roughly to 3 times a week for young people, 1-2 times a week for middle-aged people, and once a month for the elderly. This is just a reference. If you and your husband have sex twice a day, you both feel good and have no physical problems, then this frequency is suitable for you. We must understand that the frequency of sexual intercourse is not the higher the better. Studies have shown that if it exceeds the ideal state, the sense of pleasure will decrease. We usually joke about it, but don't put pressure on ourselves. The key is quality, not frequency. Find a frequency that suits us and feel physically and mentally comfortable after each sexual intercourse, and the relationship is getting better and better. Sexual intercourse must be scientific and based on our own situation, and don't follow the trend blindly. We must make ourselves comfortable and make each other comfortable so that we can continue to be happy. Do you think this is the truth? If you have any ideas, please leave a message to discuss. I hope everyone has a happy married life.